All right, for more on this, time to welcome into the show former Chelsea defender Frank Leboeuf. Frank, great to have you with us. What do you make of the latest loss for Chelsea and then the explanation we got there from Maresca?
Well, it's not getting any better, but as always said, I don't want to judge Chelsea in the preseason because for me it's kind of training session, but I'm getting a little bit worried about what I'm going to see in the first game against Manchester City. I don't understand. I thought the question mark for the past 2 years was the fact that Chelsea didn't have any striker, couldn't score any goal. And it seems to be since Maresca signed up that the prime is, and for years, the defense. Okay, that's the other way around. I didn't see that coming. And I'm okay if you want to drop, but you can't even drop if you don't follow the players who go behind the defense. It's not going to sort any problem out, and we saw that in the two goals. There are also another chance to score for Real Madrid before the first goal, and I was awful the way they couldn't get the ball out. I'm talking about the Chelsea players. So I don't think anything good coming out. Hopefully, Mr. Maresca will find a solution on that defensive aspect. And hopefully, this is going to score many goals if they keep on defending that way.
You called the game last night, Robbo. What did you see from Chelsea's defence?
They were too high. They didn't read danger. If one centre-half gets beaten, the second centre-half should be round on the cover, and that wasn't the case. Reece James is a very good player, but I was very critical of him last night because I was watching the game, and there were times where Vinny Jr. went short and then just span in behind him, and Reece James carried on watching the ball, and Vinicius Jr. within the space of a couple of seconds was 10 yards behind him. The recovery runs weren't good enough. The closing of the ball wasn't good enough. And I understand what Maresca's saying, that the play should be 5 yards deep, and that was something they did, because he's not actually working on that moment. He's gone in there and he said, my first 4 or 5 weeks has got to be how we're going to play out from the back, how we're going to be more composed. And they're not doing that very well either. So they've got major problems. With only a week and a bit before the first game of the season, I worry for Maresca at the moment.
You think the issues will carry over into the regular season?
Yeah. I'm watching, and sometimes pre-season is pre-season where you get a lot of mistakes out, but the goals that they concede, and when you're trying to fix a high line, it's one of the most basic things in football, Seb. I've worked with so many coaches when you do patterns of play, when you do 11v11s, they'll blow the whistle or drop the ball in a random area, and there'll be lines drawn across the pitch where you should be, where your back three or back four should be. If there's no pressure on the ball, you can't play a high line. That saying's been going around forever, since the game was invented. If you play a high line like Chelsea did against Real Madrid last night, and Man City, by the way, will be desperate that they play a high line, because their runners like Erling Haaland, etc., will all spin in behind. It's so easy to fix. You just drop off and be deep, and then you can try and get tight if you want to close people down. But when I look at Man City, there's about 7 or 8 players who haven't even joined up with Man City yet. They're all left behind because they're in the Euros or Copa America. When I look at Liverpool, there's Trent left behind, there's Szoboszlai left behind, there's Darwin Núñez, there's Diaz all left behind. This Chelsea squad is probably close to full strength. What they've brought to America is a full-strength squad. So I worry for Chelsea, thinking that's nearly your best team or best squad, and you're making such individual mistakes. And the other thing as well is in pre-season, if you're a player, you want to prove to the manager that I want to start on match day 1. I'm seeing so many Chelsea players that are playing their way out of the team.
Frank, you agree with that?
Yeah, and that's why I'm worried, because I don't see how they can sort any problems out. Yeah, they have some new signing, and I guess we're going to talk about the striker. But I see in the middle of the park nobody taking the leadership, and that we know that's the main concern for me, because they have no experienced players. Even if we have a World Cup winner with Enzo Fernandez, I don't feel that he can be a leader in that matter. We see in the first goal, they ended up being 2 against 3. We don't know where the left winger was, and we don't cover it. Nobody covers each other. We don't know. Badiashile doesn't know what to do, so he drops and doesn't take care of the guy with the ball. We don't see Reece James where he has to go, in which position he has to stand. There is no intuition into their games. They don't talk to each other. They're far away from finding a chemistry, and that's how. Why I feel concerned about the way they play, because that's not something you're going to resolve within 10 days.